caught in the middle of what I do and what I think when you're around. It's all I can manage when your colors burn and twirl and turn to sounds that ring aloud. You haven't forgotten, but what you say and mean don't match the looks you make until you're crowned. My tongue unravels when I say your name, and your tongue tangles and mangles mine the same. But when they collide, a lifetime mind of mine is made. Pulling wool over our eyes. Your logic's not flawless when hungry beasts are me and the apron clutching kids in bread line. My tongue unravels when I say a name. Your tongue tangles and mangles mine the same. But when they collide, a lifetime mind of mine is made.
Hey there, Ben Byrom from the Dapper Conspiracy here on the set list today with the Color Exchange. Hey guys, how you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Why don't you guys tell me a little bit about the Color Exchange?
Well, we are a four-piece, I think. Yes, we are a four-piece band from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We've all played music together in various projects, and we formed this band in January. Since we formed, we have been on tour to Montreal and Ottawa and back all the way up to the Northeast. We've gone down to Atlanta and back. We made and released our own album and put that out in April. We made a music video. We opened for some people. We've been reviewed in a bunch of major blogs. And so I'd say for 7 months as this band, we're doing okay, I would say.
Yeah, okay kind of strikes me as an understatement. Now, for most of our audience who just sees the bands and the guys that get up and play, they might not understand all the work that goes into organizing all of those details. Yes. Can you guys tell me a little bit about the behind-the-scenes work that makes all of that possible?
I drink a lot of coffee, and I sit on my laptop, and I just go to town. And sometimes if I'm too busy, I delegate to this guy, and he helps me out with some of the press emails when we try to do reviews, that kind of thing. What really makes this band thrive, I think, is that all four of us have a very different approach to what makes a band work, and we're all especially good at it. Brett runs a full studio, and having his knowledge of how to build guitars and pedals means we've saved a lot of money and time fixing our gear before the big show. And we can make all of our music in-house, which is kind of exciting. Chris is very, very musically oriented and makes sure everything we do actually sounds good beyond the just initial idea of it. Chris Petto does most of the writing for us, so he noodles around and shows us the stuff, and I kind of just make everything happen, I guess. I write words and I book shows and I just delegate. I don't know, but we work well together, and because of that, I think we've been able to do a lot more in not much time compared to other bands around here, I would say.
Okay, so finding members that are able to wear those different hats, so to speak, doing the music and the business side of things. Before the interview, you guys told me that you'd been in another band and you got 2 fill-ins to help you with some tours that you already had in place, and then from that you guys started the new band.
That's right. Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that work ethic that goes into it, that they filled in for you and you recognized their talents, and then
moving on from there?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to take this one as a
squad? Yeah, definitely. So these guys were in a previous project. They had a bunch of shows booked, and I guess 3 of the members dropped out and weren't going to play those shows. So they called Brett and myself to fill in the shows. Justin and I had played in a previous project before, so we knew that we worked well together and that we would, that it would mesh. And I actually came on playing guitars with this, and Brett was drumming, and yeah, so we played those shows, and then there was kind of a moment we paused and we decided, are we going to keep moving with this? Were we just filling in, or are we going to move forward? And we just decided, we played so well together and we meshed well together. And I think you were talking about finding people to wear those hats, that I think it was just kind of serendipitous. We didn't plan on let's find a guy who's good at this and a guy who's good at this. We just kind of found our roles in the process of forming this new band and kind of getting rolling, getting things started. I think we just found our niche, so to speak.
That's a good word.
Saw your red eyes through the fog. Told you I wouldn't stay too long, but as they crossed, I fell behind. So I woke up and fell in line, and you say this is real, and you said I've got everything I've ever wanted till it's gone. So circle around and turn back time. 'Cause hollow eyes bring tears to mine. If we can't even own our lives, and they say that we're living in a fantasy, they said that none of this is real, and they say we've got everything we ever wanted, but it's gone. Living in a fantasy, none of this is real. Everything you've ever wanted, till it's gone. Till it's gone. But it's gone. But it's
So I see a difference in dynamics. Not what you would normally expect. You said you're the front man, but you write most of the songs, but you're the musical director in rehearsals, and you handle all the audio recording. So who calls the shots? You know, who has the veto and who has the final say?
We operate in a very, like, if we try to be as unanimous as we can, but we're all very stubborn and we're all very opinionated about how we feel about things. So it usually be like a majority rule situation. But luckily I think on almost everything, 3 of the 4 of us always feel the same way. So we're never like 2 guys feel one way or 2 guys feel one way. It's always me, Chris, and Brett against Chris, or it's me, Chris, and Chris against Brett, or you get the idea. So, or the 3 of them against me very often.
On those 2 versus 2 splits though, what's the tiebreaker?
We haven't had that yet.
We haven't had that yet, so stay tuned.
Wait, I mean, I think there may have been a few times where we had that and we just kind of hashed it out to the point of like somebody will win one person over and then it's 3 against 4. And then it's kind of like most of the time we manage to reach a consensus and all 4 of us kind of, for the most part, get on the same page. And there's been 1 or 2 where we had to say like 3 against 1, you know, hard democratic decision, but that doesn't happen too often. No. And it's often over like small things like just a misplaced note or something,
right?
You know, petty like that. But
yeah,
you guys have you've already released an album, but you're about to re-release it on vinyl.
That's right. Yeah, we put out our album. It's called Cubed. We put it out digitally in April. We made that at Brett's studio over the winter and early January, and which is still winter. Anyway, it got made end of last year, beginning of this year.
I don't know. North Carolina, January can still be kind of warm sometimes.
It was snowing in March, so you never know. But yeah, and because we were rebranding and being this new band, we decided we need to have this album come out as soon as possible so we can book shows and do our own thing. And that meant that our physical release of it is coming out later, but that gave us time to find a label we wanted to work with. So there's this label in California called Bleeding Gold Records, and they're going to be helping us put it out in September. So we're really excited for that.
So,
Yeah.
Chris, as the musical director, then getting ready for your first live show after months of working on all of this and fine tuning it and getting ready, how stressful were you guys feeling before your first live show?
I don't know. I mean, we weren't all that stressed out, I don't think. Except for Brett, because he was
We still weren't done with the album.
he was finishing the album at the time.
I distinctly remember talking to my friend Carl from Museum Out at the first show that we played as this band, and I was like, dude, we played these songs twice, and this could be great, or it could just be a colossal
Train wreck.
Yeah.
But it ended up going okay.
It ended up going pretty well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't actually all that much work to. I don't know, like the way we recorded it was very, like, we had a lot of time to go over our parts and learn them very, very well. So rather than like learning them by playing them live a bunch, we just learned them by doing a lot of takes and by going over them. So like by the time each of us had recorded our parts, we'd played them a million times. We'd been going over it for a long time. So it was really just a matter of
Putting it together,
making sure that it all meshed. I mean, a big thing is just making sure we can hear the parts that we need so that everything lines up rhythmically.
So for people who want to keep up to date and
Yes.
follow you guys from home, what's the best way to follow you guys?
Gotcha. Well, we're on everything but www.thecolorexchange.com. You can pre-order the vinyl there if you want.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right, we're looking forward to hearing you guys play today.
Thank you.
And
Nice.
thank you for coming out and talking with us.
Oh, thanks for having
Thank
us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cut my teeth on things you said. Your shadows flickering at night. Horizons converge into the blinding sun. Corners connect and make you feel, but there's so much I wanna say. But you drag me down, pull me off the page, cross the lines into the modern age. Chart my course with the stained glass blades. Take on, lift on, and strike the sound again. You're crumbling walls, the building blocks of hate turn into the dust, form my gradual shape. Time melts time away. Time finds you, time binds you more, time minds you to your core. Time finds you, time binds you more, time minds you to your core. Thank you. Good night.